So, as we all know, it's primary season, and midterm elections are right around the corner. And the Republicans are not polling very well. But, polls, they don't really mean much. Um, it's just a way to take the temperature of the electorate. But, we have the Republican Party, and they are constantly saying that they are uh, pro life and they are, you know, the pro Christian party, the pro Jesus party. And truth of the matter is, on it couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, they are pro life in so much as they are more pro birth. Okay. Um, as long as the woman has that child, they're good with that. But as soon as the child breathes free air, then suddenly um, they don't care. They don't care if that child's mother can feed the child. They don't care if that child has well baby checks to make sure that, the children are, growing well and healthy. Um, they're pro money and they're pro greed and they're pro cruelty. See, they're just constantly trying to maximize cruelty and to be cruel for cruelty's sake. That should be their new motto. That should be their platform. Elect me because I can be more cruel than that guy. You know, and then of course they have their script, especially DC Republicans. They have their script and they go by it very well. You know, um, that socialist Democrats are very divisive. And, that is kind of almost a little bit a true statement. We are divisive in the way that the divisiveness is against them, the pro greed party, the pro grift party. And they know that we're right. See, they know that we're not wrong. They know it, but they can't run on what they truly believe because they wouldn't win another election. And then if you ask a Republican about Trump and his making $2.2 billion last year, and if they think that that is wrong, unethical, illegal, undemocratic, um, they will tap dance around the subject and basically come right straight, flat out, and say that no, there's nothing wrong with that, which there is an emoluments clause in the Constitution. I mean, Jimmy Carter had to sell his peanut farm for crying out loud. He had to divest himself from his peanut farm that he had in Georgia. Yeah, that's You know, um, and then when they're asked about uh, other Republican members of Congress, because they're supposed to be the party of law and order and the party that backs the blue, but when they are asked about members of Congress that have been credibly accused of SA or credibly accused of domestic violence, they say that that's a personal family matter. Not necessarily the SA, but the domestic violence. Because we have, um, and I can never remember his name, but some of these House members, I don't remember their names because honestly, they're not worth remembering. But this Republican representative from, I think it's Ohio, has been credibly accused of domestic violence against his ex-wife, allegedly pouring boiling hot water on her and holding a gun to her head. And on top of that, okay, he's been credibly accused of breaking his toddler daughter's collarbone. But, you know, Republicans' answer is like Jim Jordan, oh, well, that's a family matter and I'm not going to get involved with that. And then you have other people that are running for Senate, like Ken Paxton, okay, and you see a clip of him having a press conference, and someone asked him about his Senate opponent, um, James Tallarico, and the things he said about him. And what does he say? Well, see, I can we just ask questions about law enforcement because it was law enforcement that was standing behind him. But he should know that's not the way press conferences work. Okay, they're not gonna. A reporter is not gonna stick to a topic, especially when it comes to a candidate running for public office. So can we stick to the questions about law enforcement? Can we not ask questions about me where I have to tell the truth? I mean, seriously, that's where we're at. Okay, that's where we're at. And all of these other Republicans serving in office or running it for an office in the Republican Party, if they get asked about Trump and the critical allegations against him and the fact that he is an adjudicated rapist, in the civil suit against him brought by Eugene Carroll, being a 34 count convicted felon, oh, that's okay. They're the party of law and order. I don't think so. No, I really don't. Plus, then there's as I was talking about earlier, Ken Paxton. Okay, he has something like four or five houses, and he is the Texas Attorney General. How does someone on an Attorney General's salary, whatever, afford five houses? I mean, seriously. Man, I'll tell you, these people, their hypocrisy knows no bounds. It's true. I mean, you think about it. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds. It's okay for me, but not for you. It's ridiculous. But what's more ridiculous than that is the fact that a lot of the electorate, okay, 77 million people voted for Trump in 2024. 77 million people. So that's 77 million people that were buffaloed into believing all of his crap. Gonna bring prices down on day one. I'm gonna bring the cost of eggs down on day one. Really? I will end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. No more new wars. And what have we got? Cost of living keeps getting higher. Groceries keep getting higher. Prescriptions keep getting higher. The war in Ukraine is still raging, not even coming close to getting to the negotiation table. And now we're in a war with Iran, a war of choice that Trump started. And now he doesn't know how to get himself out of it. What an idiot. But anyway, there's my rant. And these are my opinions. And here we go. If you could hit that like button, that would be awesome. And if you could comment, that would also be awesome. And if you could subscribe, because you know what? I have 11 subscribers now. Yay! This many plus one is 11. But anyways, I'm going to end this now because it's kind of late. I mean, here it's like 10 till 1 in the morning. But like I said, this was my rant. These are my opinions. And to all of my internet friends, please do me this favor and take care of yourselves wherever you are.